Today we're going to find slope given a graph, and you're going to notice down here hopefully that this says rise over run. We also can call that the change in y over the change in x. So we're going to work on this two different ways based on from what point to what point you're going from. So first of all, the rise we want to notice is a clue word for that we go up or down. It's a vertical movement, and the run is a right or left movement. So these are the movements we're going to make. So if I start at this bottom point, and I always prefer to start at the first point I see, I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4 before I get across this other point. So that's going to be 4, and then I'm going to go right 2. So it's positive 4 because it's up, and it's positive 2 because it's to the right. However, some people prefer to start at a different point, which is okay. However, if I start at the second point, I'm going to have a down movement of 4, and then a left movement of 2. And this, because of the Margar face, if I write this Margar face, because this could be looked at as division also, is a positive. A negative divided by a negative is a positive. But many people are saying that it's negative 4 over positive 2, or rewriting it as positive 4 over negative 2. When they're both negative, that's the same thing as a positive. So this is not equal. These two things are not equal. A negative 4 over negative 2 is not the same as a negative 4 over positive 2. When we reduce this, either way, 4 divided by 2 or negative 4 divided by negative 2, we get a positive 2. You may have noticed that this line goes upward. It's going upward from left to right. So that's considered a positive slope, and our answer, the number, should also be positive. As we look at this next line, it is going downward, so our answer should be negative. This one doesn't have its points, and so this makes it a little bit more challenging because we have to put points where we think they might be. We're looking for them to be on a grid mark right in the center of each grid mark. So on this one, I prefer to start at the very first point I see. So I'm going to start going downward 1, which would be considered a negative 1, and then right 1. This, because of the Margar face, if I had a negative divided by a positive, I get a negative. So we can simplify this to negative 1. Now, we could have started at other points. In fact, I could have started at this same point and gone down 3, which would have been negative 3, and right 3, which is a positive 3, and that would also reduce to negative 1. If you started, however, and you decided to go from one of the other points, say this point to this point, then you would be going up 2, so that would have been positive, but left 2, which would have been negative. And either way, if I have a positive divided by a negative, I'm still going to get a negative answer. If one of these movements is a negative movement, the answer is negative. And it should be, because we noticed that the line moves down. Would you please complete the next two on your own, and then you can watch to see if you need to make any corrections. This graph appears to go over grid marks at these 2 points. So I'm going to start always with a rise, which is up in this case instead of down, so that's 1, over run. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we went 4 to get to the point, and since this is an improper fraction, or looks like an improper fraction already in reduced form, this is the slope. This next one, again, if I try to find the grid marks, it looks like there's one here and one here where this line crosses over. We could even find this point. In order to kind of avoid negatives over negatives, or I usually try to start with the very first point. Now, because I have to make a downward movement, this is going to be -3, but I'm making a right movement of 1, so the slope of this one reduces to -3. If you see, this line is going down, so it should be a negative answer, and this line was moving up, so it should be a positive answer. One more thing I want to address